So, hey my friends, it's Thursday and it is time for our religion lesson, okay? And we started the other day talking about the Sermon on the Mount and those rules that Jesus kindly gave to the people who had come to hear him speak. Of a way of living that if you do so, the rewards, the rejoicing that we're able to do for the rewards is that reward of meeting Jesus in heaven and staying there with him for eternity, being joined together with him for eternity, okay? And if you look at the word Beatitudes, and you know me, I always like to look for the little word and the big word. And in the word Beatitudes, I see two words. I see the word be and I see the word attitudes. Sometimes your mom and dad might say to you, you better watch your attitude, okay? Or what a great attitude you have. An attitude is the way that we look at things, the way that we present ourselves. And so it's kind of how we feel about things, how we go about things. We can go about them positively or we can go about them negatively. And I think what Jesus wanted us to do is to go about them positively, to have a positive attitude, okay? Feel positively about different things. You remember at the beginning of the year, it's important to remember this, that God created us in his image and likeness. And that's important when we talk about the Beatitudes, especially when we see that word attitudes in there. Beatitudes are ways and image of God. That's you, because you were created in the image and likeness of God. So the Beatitudes are the ways and image of God, meaning you should think, feel, and act. Okay? So Beatitudes are the way that I should think, that I should feel, and I should act. Okay? They are the best attitudes we can have. They're the very best attitudes that we can have. And being content with what we have is that first beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So being content with what we have, that's what blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. I'm going to read you a little story called The Two Travelers, okay? So listen carefully to this, and it ties in with our Beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Two travelers prepared for a pilgrimage to a holy festival. One traveler prepared day and night in the weeks leading up to the trip, collecting every tool or item that he thought he would need to arrive safely at the destination. The other traveler packed lightly and took with him only what was necessary. Each traveler set out on the same day and at the same time. It was a long journey. They met along the road and traveled together on the way. The first traveler wondered how his companion could possibly be expected to arrive without the many tools and supplies he had packed with him. Then they realized they were lost. The first traveler stopped and looked at his many tools to help him find the way. This took a very long time to sort through his possessions. Meanwhile, the other traveler said a prayer and continued on the journey, trusting that he would find his way. He moved quickly, and before long, he found the right path again. The first traveler found his way too, but he had to go backwards and pick another road to get there. Though the two travelers were now far apart, they felt the extreme heat of the next day. It was exhausting and slowed both of them down. The traveler with few possessions was only slowed a little bit and finally arrived at the festival. The other traveler, however, was overcome by the heat and exhaustion of carrying so many things. He had to take a lot of breaks along the way. By the time this traveler arrived with his many possessions still intact, the festival was over. People were leaving. His former companion was leaving too, and realized what he had done. He placed his trust in his supplies rather than God. So, when we talk about the first beatitude, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Being content. This is asking us to do is to depend on God first. Not a lot of stuff, okay? Not my TV, not my trampoline, not my Game Boy, not stuff to make me happy, okay? Also, not what others think about me, or what others say about me, or about what I have or what I don't have. That's not being content. I'm not content when I worry too much either about those things. Those things, putting all of those things, separate us from God. You remember the jar, okay? The water's on the bottom, the oil's on the top. When we care too much, okay, about the things in life or the way people speak about us, when we put our emphasis on material things, that's what happens. We get separated from God and His love because we're not content. We're not counting on God. We're counting on all that other stuff that really doesn't matter. Okay? So just like the water and the oil separate, when I worry too much about material things, when I worry too much about things that people say and do, say about me or do to me, I'm allowing myself to be separated from God. I'm not being content. What the man with all of the possessions in the story did was he counted on those possessions to get him from one place to the festival. But the other person, the other man in the story, didn't have a lot of stuff. He didn't have a lot of material things. He took just what he needed. And then when it came to the difficult part in the journey, do you remember what he did? Did he complain? Did he say, oh God, why me? Why am I lost? No, I don't think so. Do you remember what he did? He stopped. He took a minute and he brought his worries and his concerns to God. He prayed. And in the end, it wasn't all of those fancy tools that got him to the festival and allowed him to enjoy the festival. It was his faith in God. It was being content with what he had, and it was being content in knowing that Jesus was there. God was there and was willing to listen to him and to take care of him. Okay? So we don't want to aim for material things to give us happiness. That's not what's going to give us happiness, because eventually those things are going to break or old or faded or whatever. Those things are not going to bring us happiness. What's going to bring us real joy and real happiness is God. Okay? And the other prop I brought with me today is a life preserver, because a life preserver, okay, you know, if someone maybe falls off the boat or gets into the pool and doesn't know how to swim, a lifeguard or someone will throw a life preserver to that person to get them safely back to shore. And so that's why I chose this okay, prop today. Okay, we used the oil and the water the other day to remind us that we are the church. And when we are the church, we don't worry about material things. We don't worry about what people are saying about us. We rely on God. We rise to the top and do those things that Jesus asked. And that's my prop today. It reminds me that blessed are those who rely on God's help. Just like the man in the story who didn't bring a whole lot of tools. He didn't rely on the tools to help him when he got lost. He relied on God, okay, to help him, to keep him safe. Okay? And with God's help, he was able to find it to the festival. So if you and I, throughout the journey of our life, rely on God's help, then guess what? Heaven will be ours. And that's what this beatitude is about. Have an attitude of being happy with what I have. Have an attitude of the material things are not important in my life. What so-and-so is saying behind my back, that's not important in my life. What's going to bring me real joy and real happiness is relying on God. Taking that time to be content with my relationship, growing my relationship, and taking time to pray. Because if I rely on God for help, that's where the joy and the happiness will come from. And that's what will help me to one day be able to spend time with him in heaven. So there you go, boys and girls. That's our lesson for today on the first beatitude. Remember, the attitudes are the best attitude that you and I can have. And in this first beatitude, okay, being content with what we have. Being content with what we have. Relying on God to keep us safe. That's all we need is God in our lives. And relying on him is where we'll receive our real joy and our real happiness. Now that the lesson is over, you will find in your packet that your parents have printed off for you a beautiful page for you to color and perhaps hang in your room when you're finished to remind you that the best attitude is a good following the beatitudes. Okay, that's the best attitude that you can have. And this first one, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Maybe after you finish with that coloring page and you put it up in your room, you'll remember to be content with what you have. And it'll be a reminder that it's not the material things. It's not your games. It's not your scooter. It's not your Nintendo. Those are not the things that's going to bring you real joy and happiness. It's going to be your relationship with Jesus. Until next time, boys and girls, thank you for